Welcome back to another episode of Hot Takes, Hotter Mistakes. Chaho Mateo El Tapatio. Tell you what, I got to go on a little bit of a rant today. When I was a kid, like many other people out there that are a little on the seasoned side, when I was a kid growing up, we did not have the internet, okay? Believe it or not, we didn't have cell phones. We had news that came on at night. We never watched it. That was our parents' job. So, with that being said, there was absolutely no way whatsoever to prove or disprove a rumor that you heard. I mean, none whatsoever. Your buddy could come up with the craziest thing and you'd believe it because you couldn't just, fact check it real quick like you can nowadays. I mean, we grew up thinking that Mikey, the little dude on the cereal commercial, Mikey likes it. Dude died, man. Freaking died. You know how he died? He went to the store and got some Pop Rocks, which we all ate as kids. We love Pop Rocks, right? But little Mikey fucked up because he threw some Pop Rocks back and then took a big old swig of Dr. Pepper. And then he walked out in the parking lot and poof, stomach exploded, guts everywhere. He was dead. So we grew up thinking. There was no way to disprove it. I mean, the only information you go down to the library and get the little microfilms, but unless Mikey lived in your town, you had no clue. So for years, we would stop at the Pop Rocks and be like, I really want some Pop Rocks. I really want a soda, but I can't. I mean, I can get both of them. It's asking for trouble. Then we would dare each other. I dare you to do it. But you never did it because Mikey freaking died, man. His guts got blown all over the parking lot. The local Super S. And that was horrifying. You didn't want to see your bud get blown to bits out in the parking lot because he had him a soda and some candy. But yeah, that's what happened. See what else? Oh, every bit of your candy on Halloween was going to have a razor blade in it. Yep. I mean, you knew there was a kid from one town over that bit down and just completely sliced his teeth out. And yeah, so you were scared to death. You'd sit there and be like, I want that. I want that little baby Snickers. It's wild, but no way to verify it. No way to verify it whatsoever. We had the big cult scare back in the, I don't want to say that was late 80s. So in the late 80s, there was a satanic cult in every single town in America. They were killing cats, goats. They were doing rituals under the street. I mean, you'd hear a story, you'd be like, yeah, over under that highway over there, they found a dead black cat. It's 666 spray painted under in the little brain thing under there, wherever the hell, gutter, whatever you call that thing. Yeah, man, just the wild ass rumors that we had growing up, and we had no way to verify whether it was real or not. Hear about kids getting stolen, everything else, man. It was wild. Some of you can relate if you grew up back in the 80s, early 90s. The reason I say all that, the reason I bring that up is what's wild to me now is that you have the internet, okay? You have 24-hour news. You even have AI now. AI can parse all the information available in the world and give you an answer. But yet I still see the wildest shit online and people just eat it up. It's like there'll be one post and you'll see it shared 1,000 times. And it's like, I mean, I'm old, right? I should be the one believing that shit. But no, man, you see it, you see everyone is like, there'll be some wild, looking lightning strike or whatever, and they're like, oh, it's the cloud seeding, or it's the chemtrails from the planes, or it's this or that. And then you just take 2 seconds and Google it, or type it in Chat GPT, and it'll be like, no, it's fucking AI, or that's a scene they shot for some fucking movie. But no, people believe it, man. All kinds of shit, dude. UFOs, which that could be real, who knows? But like, some of the shit's so obvious, And it's like, oh, the political shit's the craziest, man. I don't care what side you're on. Both sides are fucking crazy. I mean, we gotta get back down to the middle where we can. I'm convinced that there's tons of people out there that are still in the middle. I'm not gonna tell myself otherwise, but it's just wild. That's the worst, You see the craziest post. So and so said this. So and so wants to kill your kid. So and so take 5 seconds. I mean, you don't have to repost and make a comment. You can just flip on over and be like, did this person really say this? Oh, they didn't. Or it was taken out of context, or whatever else. I don't know. It's wild to me that in the age of endless information that you can still have so much crazy false stuff out there. And really, with the AI, people have got to just stop and realize the AI has gotten so good, and it's getting even better, especially with the videos, that you're really going to have to start questioning everything you see. You can't just blindly go in and be like, this is truth, because it's going to get to the point where you're not going to be able to tell the difference. And I know there's going to be some people out there making dumbass decisions based off what they saw on the internet. But yeah, people, just take your time, man. Just, if you see something, before you get all worked up and all crazy, just, hop over to Chat GPT or something. Be like, hey, bud, is it true that this politician eats babies? I mean, come on. It can be that hard. It's wild. Wild. But yeah, man, as kids, we didn't have that opportunity. So it made sense back then that we believed a bunch of dumb shit, because we didn't have any way to verify it. I don't know. It kind of made it cool, because back then it was, they always say Gen X, Gen X was wild, but it really was. We were a bunch of little feral cats running around doing dumb shit. But it was a good time. I feel sorry for my kids, because I've always been way overprotective of them, just because I knew all of the dumb stuff I did as a kid. So, I was a little leery to let them just run wild until the street lights came on. Maybe I sheltered them too much, but yeah, as kids, we just fucking hog wild, man. We did whatever. I can remember one of the craziest times of the many crazy times as a kid. I actually almost died, believe it or not. And didn't tell my mom about it till years later, but we had a big storm. We're having storms right now in Texas, but we've always had these big flooding storms. And what we used to love to do is we'd go down to the elementary school after a big storm, because there would be these huge puddles of water that we'd go play in. And it was just fun, jump around in the water during the summertime. In this particular storm, it had rained a lot. And so when we got down to the school, there was a street that had water running over it. And it wasn't running over it so fast that you couldn't walk through it. It wasn't like a complete flash flood where, it was dangerous to be standing on the road. But there was an inch or two of water that was running over the road. So of course we're over there splashing, playing around with it and whatnot. And me and my best friend are kind of wrestling around. And he decides that he thinks it'd be funny to push me over the side into the actual creek part, right? So when he does that, as soon as I land in the water, it was like a vacuum. I was like, I could feel myself just being pulled to the gutter. And at first I was like, no, it's all right. But the closer I got to the gutter, the stronger that suction, became. So all I could think to do was just throw my hands up and go like this. And so it sucked me in, and I was like, I had that gutter right here on my neck, and I'm just like this, and the water's starting to kind of spray over my head. And, we're kids, we didn't just idiots. So my friend starts laughing, and he's like, bro, is it that deep? Is it that deep? Fuck no, man. 90% of my body is under the road right now. And I was like, no, dude, it's like, it's sucking me in this tunnel. Help me. Like, it's sucking me in. And I mean, I weighed maybe 100 pounds now. I was a skinny little kid. I did not have the strength to pull myself out of that hole, right? And my arms were kind of pinched in, it was kind of like this. And I'm just like, ah. So all I could do is just like stick my head out like a turtle and kind of rest my neck on the gutter. So that it didn't suck me through. And he reaches down, and he was a pretty big kid for our age, and he grabs my arm and starts he's like, give me your hand. So he's trying to pull me, and I don't want to let go of that one hand, because I'm like, if I let go and he lets go, and suck me under the road. And so one of his sisters was with us. So she's like, give me your other hand. So they both start pulling, right? They're both pulling me, and I ain't budging. I'm like, it is sucking me in so hard. Both of them pulling me. I'm not moving an inch, right? And the whole time I still got my neck pinched down on the gutter, because I know if I lean back, I'm going through, right? And so I'm sitting there, God, I don't know how long. It felt like forever. And they're both freaking out at this point. I'm freaking out at this point, right? I think I'm in shock too, because I'm like, I don't know. And the water's just kind of like, my head's above the water, but the current is just kind of throwing the water over my head. So I'm just like this. And so they start screaming for his other sister, right? And she was a tough girl, man. She still is a tough girl. I still know her to this day, but she was one of them bruisers, right? So she comes running, because she was like over by the playground. And so they're like, help, Mateo needs help, he's drowning. So she comes running over and like, move out of the way. And she grabs both of my arms and just pulls me out. And that thing, because she's like pulling up on me, that pipe just runs like along my chest like this. So she literally yanks me out of the gutter and lays me on the street. And I've got, like, I'm all cut up, I'm bleeding and everything. And I was like, oh my God. Well, at this point, because I've always been an idiot and have to make light of everything, we all started laughing, right? We're like, oh my God, that was so crazy, Never really set in, you could have just drowned, bro. So we get up, and then we're all standing there, and my friend's like, dude, it's a gutter. Why don't you just let go and you would have just shot out the other side? I was like, I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about that, dude. I was scared, like it was holding me in. So we walk across the street to the other side of the street where the gutter lets out on the other side of the creek. And we all look over the side, and someone or something had ran over it or whatever, but it was pinched shut. There was only about maybe 6 inches that was open, and the rest was smashed down. So if I would have let go, I would have sucked through, and then I would have stuck right there, and there would be no Mateo El Tapatio today. So wild things, as a kid. Not honestly, it's not the only time I almost died, but I'll save one of those stories for another episode. But yeah, just good times growing up in a small town, and doing really dumb shit that, as I tell my mom the stories, you know, I waited till later on in life so it didn't give her a heart attack, but lots of craziness. But yeah, I'm just thinking, you know, for those of you that get on the internet, let's just pause and take a moment and realize not everything we see is real. Just like me growing up, Mikey didn't blow up. He didn't die in the parking lot. As a matter of fact, I believe he's still alive. He just decided not to do TV commercials anymore. But we didn't know that. We thought he died a horrible death. So if we can make it through that, y'all can make it through all the fake shit you see on the internet. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that. And like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. But yeah, have a good night.